Hi everyone, Jess Ivas here. I'm back for what I'm calling Wisdom Wednesday. So randomly, I'm gonna start doing these recorded videos on Wednesday, Odin's Day, one of my favorite days of the week. I have had the inspiration for this video for a little while now, quite some time. But lately, I've been pushed more and more to do this video. I feel like that's a lot louder than it is. But basically, so this video is entailing spell work ain't fancy. Myself, I've been doing spell work for some time now, years now, selling product for over 5 years now to help others magically. I am a witch. I love spell work. I honor it. I am dedicated to it. And I respect it. So a lot of why I want to do this video is because I've been noticing lately in the collective the importance and the need to understand the magic is not a joke. It's not fancy. It's not pretty. It's not happy hoo-hoo. It's not mainstream, look at me, I can be a witch too. Sage is definitely something we should all be utilizing as an herb that assists with our energetic atmosphere and our beings. Something that has been used for ceremonial purposes through cultures for centuries. So this is not something that is new. This is not something up and coming. This is something that's an ancient art. This is something that takes practice, dedication, and understanding. So what I've noticed lately is this almost, hey, you could do this to fix this. And people aren't understanding what's going on. So it's kind of making me a little nervous, only for the fact of unbalancing the favors of the elements. And when I say that, I mean that because magic is rooted in the elements. The more we do spell work, the more we do magic, the more we affect those elements. The more those elements alter or change. So, as someone who practices magic on a daily basis, it's not something to play around with. It does come with a price. Unknowledgeable information or doing things to alter someone's will definitely untip that natural favor. So this is something I want to express too. I'm going to start with one of the main reasons that pushed me to do this. Now, I've always had this in the back of my head to do a video of this sort because I feel like there is such an importance to understand the severity of magic. Not even that it's a severe chaotic problem. It's that it takes understanding and discipline to not fuck it up. To not fuck up other people's lives when you're creating magical product. I feel that experience and understanding is needed before creating magical product for other people. I was creating it for many years before I started selling it. You don't want to start opening cans for people that don't know how to close them. Some people don't realize that. You should always use your product first. If you don't use your product, how are you going to know if it works? That's one thing. 2 is understanding and creating a foundation and background of what you're using. Are you opening space when you create these items or use these items? Are you understanding the energies that you are working with or tapping into? Are you understanding the energies that are around you and lingering within your space when creating such items? I don't think a lot of people understand that. I can sense something that became a dark object or has ill intention without touching it because I create magical product. It freaks me out a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. It's dangerous. So the main reason why I really wanted to do this video is I have an amazing career that I did spell work to get the foot in the door and understood the signs and did the work. And almost a year later it happened. It's never overnight. Those quick overnight things you better be careful about. Always comes with a price. Unless it's something that needs to release or let go. When you're doing magic on that sense, then yes, that can happen very quickly. When you're doing it to gain something in your life, it's going to take time. It's going to take understanding, and it's going to take the will of yourself to see it through. So, a friend of mine that I work with was telling me about her daughter and her daughter's friend. They work together, younger. She's around my daughter's age, she's like 18 or so. And I instantly, hair was standing on end when she starts telling me. And basically what had happened is her daughter's friend was dating a guy who decided he didn't want to date her anymore, and he went back to his ex-girlfriend. Well, this girl was not happy about it and wanted to do something magically to him, bending his will. It's against the rules of magic. I don't give a fuck who you are. It ain't right. It ain't right. I'm sick of being an undoer, and if you keep fucking doing it, I'm gonna have to keep being an undoer. And that means undoing your bullshit. So knock it the fuck off. And I hope you're watching this video. Whoever the fuck may be doing that. But basically, she wanted to fuck with him. She wanted to make him pay. She wanted him to fall back in love with her. Whatever the case may be. She saw a spell on TikTok. I don't use TikTok. I personally don't approve of it, like it, give a fuck. I mean, to each his own. But I don't like that shit. It just, to me, is the AI consciousness taking hold. Whole nother video. Maybe another Wisdom Wednesday. But basically what I want to, as she's telling me this, I'm like, don't you dare. The friend wanted to come over and do it at her house. I'm like, don't you dare let her do that in your house. You have every say to say no to that. I go, if you let her do that in your house, do you know what you're going to be undoing? I go, that's going to open up cans of worms that you do not want to open. Do you understand what could happen with that? And now my friend, I made candles and she's used them, and like she's gotten some drumming from me. So she's open. She understands. This is why she came to me to talk to me about it. So it was a couple weeks ago. So when it snowed, so what had happened is the girl never came over because it snowed. So she got lucky. But it did definitely wake her up to something. But it definitely woke me up into understanding that I need to talk about this. I need to express this because this shit ain't cool. It ain't cool, man. I mean, I've been doing this shit for a long time now, and shit gets real for me on a daily basis because it's something that isn't taken light. It should not be taken lightly. It's a ritual. It's something that is incorporated into your life on a daily basis. It's not, hey, I want to have fun. Oh, this is playtime. Oh, it's mainstream. It's cool. Everybody's doing it. But what are you really doing if you're following the mainstream move of it? If you're not actually building a foundation and learning, experiencing, tapping into the science of magic, cause and effect. Now, some of you may know that I make these large carved candles. I channel energy. I intune these candles. I create magical sigils. I bind the runes. Spell work is something I really am passionate about. Something I've assisted and helped alter people's lives and my own. And I've seen the effect. I've seen what has happened when my guides are straight like, no, do not do this. A client could come to me and say, I think I need this. Can you please do this? And I'll read into it and I'll channel into the situation and I'll get met with a whoop. No, do not do that because it's something karmically. Okay? Because there's a process I go through when creating these products. I don't just make it because, oh, haha, that looks cool and pretty. Let me do this. Oh, yeah, this could be good. Just do this. No, that's not how it works. Understanding is key. Okay? So to eliminate the unbalance of nature, the elements of magic, to eliminate doing that, to eliminate the karma on yourself for helping someone else clear their karma, or to help change their life in some way. And this is a good example of this. If you're not understanding, and it's not even that. So let me get to the forefront of this, and basically, precautions must be taken. You know, you should be protected when creating. You should be protected while doing spell work, so nothing influences your spell or alters it or tries to mess with it in some way. Because there is usually ulterior motives, or energies, I should say, that like to fuck with people that are doing work to help themselves or the collective or earth, whatever the case may be. So now I'm saying this as someone who creates magical product and really having to understand discernment and knowing the energies you're working with, the energies that are around, and the energies that you use for protection. You have to create a steady ritual. You have to create a steady cleansing process for yourself as the practitioner and the creator of these items. Because if you don't, it's going to affect you. It's going to affect the future product you create. So now I create a neutralizer candle. And with this candle, I create bind the runes. I have a bind the rune. I have a certain way I do it. I attune, I enchant. I always use a certain herb. I always use a certain oil. I have my own recipes, my ways of doing it. I'm a hedge witch too. So like I use herbs. I use certain elements within my magic to get the job done. So with that candle, I create it and I sell it. I sell it through the shop. So now, with a friend of mine who purchased this candle, I went a little more in detail with her. I taught her, I expressed to her how to chant the runes. I expressed to her what to write as a spell in more detail. Now, I always tell people to set clear intentions. Be clear with what you want to use that candle for, what your intention work is for that candle, because you're the one creating that spell. I'm creating the tool. I'm creating the magical tool for you to use to execute your spell. You're the power behind it. Yes, there's power within the candle that's making it happen. Absolutely. Because there has to be a recipe of elements creating that outcome. But you're that force driving it. The gas to the engine. This is, So, let me get back on track because I always spin off sometimes. But basically, you have to, without the discernment and understanding, that's where I was going. See how I got sidetracked with that? Because this is very important and it's very personal. So my guides are probably like, maybe not go too much into detail with that. But basically what had happened, cause and effect of that and the elements. So the most minimal effect I have is by, creating that candle, selling that candle. When I decided for that one person to say, hey, chant the runes like this, draw them like this, write a spell like this, detailing da 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 in your own words, and then basically do it like this. That candle burnt, she lit that candle, and not even 9 hours later, it was like the next morning, all of a sudden I hear, oh fuck, and it's like a smash and oh fuck. And the lawnmower guy was in my yard on the freaking lawnmower, and then a rock kicked up. Oh, music. Oh, woke up this morning. Look at that. That's hilarious. Rock went right through my back window, right through the back seat window of the driver's side. And I knew immediately, because when this happened, I was having issues energetically with my computer trying to use my website. So right away, I was having an effect on me. Something was happening to me because I gave her that extra little push to push that spell forward for her and to neutralize the energy that was affecting her. And that energy did not like that. It was like, no, I'm mad at you. This energy came from another country. It came back with her from another country, and I knew it was severe, so I said, hey, do it like this. Well, that thing didn't like it. No, I didn't have to pay for my window, but you know what? It was a real nuisance and a real annoyance. And I didn't get harmed or, he didn't get in trouble. I mean, he had to pay for it, which really fucking sucked for him, but it was an accident, but what are you going to do? But I know that it had to do with me helping her move forward with this. So there's effect to things. So this is what a lot of people I feel don't understand right now when creating magical product, is that they're creating an effect. An effect will always happen, whether it's good or bad. So we have to understand, as people using the spells, to use discernment. Don't ever, get something because somebody says this is what's going to do. You be called to that item. I even say it with my stuff. If you are called to purchase my items, purchase my items. I could get lists of testimonies of people that are loving every single part of it, but I don't have to do that because I know that the universe is, I'm providing these for the people that need them, and they will have that for them. So I just get very frustrated and feel like there's a lot of people are opening up these portals of magic, and things are coming out of them, and they don't even understand what they're doing because they think they're doing a little prosperity spell to get money. They think they're doing a love spell because they'll fall in love with who they, the biggest disclaimer I have on my candle making menu is I will not help someone fall in love with you. That's not how it works. I don't do that. That's unethical. There's no balance to that. It's not natural. It's bending someone's will. I don't approve of it. So, on that note, I don't want to be an undoer forever. I've made fertility kits. I've gotten a few people pregnant. It's very satisfying to be able to assist people that way. I've made many protection candles, kits. I have a berserker kit that's coming out. I was going to make just the candle, but now it's going to have a runic spell and medicine bag with it. So that'll be out in the next couple of weeks, because it's been charging and it's really intense. That's another thing. Spell work takes work. It's not fancy. It's not pretty. It's not, oh, look at me. It's not a quick fix. It's not something that can happen like that. It's something that takes work. Like I said in the beginning of the video, just now when I was speaking about a friend of mine that I work with in my career, the career I did, that I received by doing a spell for it. I knew I wanted to be in this industry. I knew I wanted to help people medicinally with marijuana. I didn't know how to get in there. I tried my outlets, the people I knew, it didn't work. There was no one hiring at the space I knew. I said, I did a spell for it. And I wasn't discouraged. I still held on to that because I see my vision. I know what's going to happen. So I did a spell, and I was just home making magical product at the time. I wasn't even working a different job. We started doing everything online at the shop and only open on Saturdays. So I decided I was just going to make product. And then I got to the point where I need to be in the cannabis industry. It's something that I need to do. And I've always wanted to do it since I was a kid. I always wanted to do it. Who doesn't want to work with weed? So natural healing. But basically I did the spell and I was kind of discouraged because I'm like, damn, man, I didn't get in there. I did it because I thought I could get into this certain space. I thought it would give me a little extra oomph, Well, that's not how spell work works. And I don't do stuff for myself a lot. I do stuff for myself. I do the small spells. I do the upkeeping. I do the work. But this was like a big, I want this and I want it provided to me, and I'm going to do it wasn't even a huge spell. It was a very simple spell. Very simple. It's all about the wording. It's all about the elements you use to get that outcome. So, of course I used rune magic because rune magic is part of my being. Like, this is something that's primordial energy that I love to tap into. And it took about 9 months. 9 months and following messages, going to Vermont and getting the message to get the most mundane coffee making job in existence. And I did it. And I decided where, when, and what times I wanted to do that. And that's exactly what I got, because that's the only thing I felt right or called to. 5-6 months into that, contracted right out. Someone saw my work ethic, asked me if I wanted an opportunity. I jumped on that opportunity because it was for the cannabis industry, something that I had set into motion months prior about the gestation period of a baby, and there it was. So, but if I didn't follow those signs, if I didn't listen to those mundane things and go for something I'm totally overqualified for, I would have never got where I wanted to be now. So the steps, honoring the work, understanding that it's not going to be a quick reward, understanding that you have to, just put out, like, how should I put that? It's like almost, putting the energy of love to it. I feel like it's just become so mainstream and looked at as a joke, or looked at as make-believe, or, oh, everybody's doing it, let me do it. It's kind of disrespecting it. It's an ancient art that has been around for so long. Like I said, I use rune work. So that's a primordial energy. That's pre-Christian. That's like before the witch trials. So, there's an ancientness to this that needs to be understood. And I can't stand when I see people abusing it and disrespecting it. There used to be this girl that would come in the shop, and we call her the Candle Girl. I dubbed her the Candle Girl. I mean, I think I know her, and I only say this in like all due respect, but like really, this is why I called her this. She would come in and she would buy votive candles, the small votive candles, and every single time I'd give her the description of put it in a candle holder of this size, make sure the whole candle burns, set clear intentions, don't blow out the candle, snuff it out, giving precise instructions, because if you've been in the shop, you know that I always did that. So she would come in and she wouldn't understand why nothing worked. She wouldn't understand anything. And I tried to express to her, well, how did you light it? What did you do? Did you say anything? Did you make a clear intention? She just thought because she did it on a full moon that it worked. I'll tell you right now, candles I make, you do not need to do it on a moon phase to work. That's how I do spell work. And I can sound cocky right now. I don't give a fuck. I just don't get designated. I mean, you can use it on the moon if you are gravitated to that, by all means. But I create my spells so you do not need to do it on a moon phase for it to work. And that's that. And that's my own reasoning and secret behind it. So that's not something I'm going to entail until I maybe teach a class about it. But basically, she wouldn't understand why it wouldn't work, because she'd just sit there and every full moon she'd get a different candle. Wouldn't care what it was. She'd want some love, or she'd want this, or she'd want that. That quick fix. She'd put it on a plate, the same plate every time. So now she's putting it on a plate. Now, what I said in these instructions I would always give, because people don't listen, put it in a holder similar to the size. You want all of the wax to burn for the efficiency of the spell. She never listened. She told me at one point that she had a plate full of multiple candle wax that just started getting higher, because all she would do is put it in the middle of the plate and light it and just let it go. There's no structure. There's no foundation. There's no strength to that spell. This is something that's just, a little bit of disrespect I've noticed within spell work. Common disrespect. Not having the knowledge, not wanting to put forth the knowledge, wanting people to do the work for you, explain it all to you, and still not pay attention. This is what I'm seeing, and this is what I don't like. It's kind of like a smack in the face. We are in a modern time now that we can be witches and not get killed for it. It's about time we respect it. It's about time you stop making novelty items or creating dark objects because you don't know what you're doing. Go and find a teacher. Pick up a fucking book. Take a fucking class. Understand cause and effect. Look into science. Look into herbalism. Don't just Google something and say, hey, I know how to use magic. Do you know the biggest misconception you'll get is trying to Google magic, because you're going to get a lot of misinformation. There's going to be another video about this with me and Ashley, because there's a subject that we've been wanting to talk about for years that I'm sure would be very controversial. And I might just do it myself. A part 2, who knows? But dark objects can be created very easily, and people don't realize that. It's dangerous. It's very, very dangerous. And I just want people to wake the fuck up. You know? It takes work. And I hope that this message has come across clear and understanding. If you resonate to this, if you're a witch, if you're a spell worker, and you understand that there is a lot of mainstream bullshit out there and it pisses you off, share this video. You know, I'm trying to light the fire under people's asses and let them understand that they might be let's look at it as martial arts. I say this in my runes class. You know, you're not at a black belt. What do you start at, a white belt? I don't even know. I didn't even take martial arts. But my point here is you got to start somewhere. Don't just jump up here and think that you can fix everybody's world with your magic and you don't even know what magic you're wielding. Create a sacred space. You need a foundation. All this, you know, it's just, I hear novelty. All I hear is novelty. It's like, you know, it's the misinformation. It's, you know, the alchemy of it. It's, you know, you got to break down the herbs to get the true essence of its energy. Mortar and pestle is a witch's friend. Yeah, I think I'm going to do another video of this. I might do a private container one, actually. For sure. But basically, I just want to get it out there. Honor your work. Honor the fact that spell work isn't a joke. It's not fancy. It's not something that you can play around and say, hey, oh no, I'm a witch. Yay, I light sage. And I lit a candle the other night. But you didn't even know what you did it for. Never leave your candles on when you go to sleep. It's not safe. Spell work sometimes creates crackles in the candles because of the energy. So be aware of it. I'm actually absolutely in love with the candle I just made. I have to make another batch. The batch I made already sold out. But the cure candle for ridding energetic infection, because you can always use that. I just love the fact that the candle, the flame, is the most solid flame I've ever seen in my life. Not even in my life, and I'm not even just saying that. Like even other candles I've made, but you know, candles bounce around. My other candle over there bouncing around. Something I did with that one. It's steady because it's getting the job done. Deep spell work, man. It'll get out that nitty gritty that gets stuck. But you got to honor it. You got to honor your practice. You got to honor your work. It's not a joke. It's not mainstream. It's something that should be honored. So if you hear this message, you get it, you understand it, please share this message. Keep spreading awareness. I feel like the more we unbalance the natural way of magic, the natural foundation of magic, I feel like the more people aren't doing the honor within that work or understanding the elements of that magic they're doing, and they create more of a portal or a darker energy, it's just going to tip the favor and unbalance it into something we don't want to work with. It's going to create more natural disasters. It's going to create issues that are not going to be easy to undo. So I'm just like, I want people to heed the warning. If you're interested in spell work, start with a beginner's course. Understand the basic elements of spell work. Myself and Ashley teach a intro to spell work class. There is also advancement stuff. The space is evolving and changing, and everything is going to be wildly bigger on the scale of knowledge and understanding things because of the way the energy is right now. Like we're up leveling to the fact that you guys need to understand that, like I said in another video, not just because we're in the 5D now doesn't mean there's not darker energies. There's smarter darker energies. So we got to be ahead of the game. So we're here to school you all and let y'all know your role. So if you need a teacher, seek them out. Go with who you're called to. Maybe sit back and understand a little more before you go forward with it. Do some research without just Googling. Read a real book. A real fucking book. Take a class. You know? Scott Cunningham. He's got some good books. But go with that instinct, the intuition that is guiding you with the spell work. Don't just jump on anything or grasp for straws. Actually hone in and ask for the guidance from your spirit guides or higher self to know that direction if you're unclear of it. Because if not, you're just going to open up these portals and energies and things that you don't want to deal with, and you're not going to understand why you're doing it because you're not understanding the effect it's having on your life. Whether it's because you're doing spell work you're unsure of, or if you're creating spell work tools that you don't know what you're tapping into. So it's going to cause an effect on your life in one way or another. And you know, it's also going to cause an effect on the atmosphere and the collective. So let's avoid that and be smart. And realize spell work ain't fancy. It takes work, honor, and dedication within you and your practice to keep it balanced. So let's keep the balance of magic and not fuck up the elements anymore. I hope you all have an amazing morning, afternoon, evening. I hope you're able to understand this message and you are called to share it. Like the message, whatever you may feel called to do, I'm cool with. If you're interested in a rune reading or magical product, please message me. Again, I'll have this Berserker spell kits out soon. That's going to help amplify mental endurance and physical endurance. So it's pretty wild. So be on the lookout for that. And I hope you all have a wonderful evening, night, whatever. It's night here right now, so I think I need some rest. But just take this spell work seriously, because we're all going to end up being affected by it if we don't. The more it becomes mainstream, the more we're going to open up portals of energy that we don't want to deal with. We want to avoid that from happening. And we want to only open good portals. So I hope you all understand this message. Please share it, pass it along. Follow my page, my Instagram, my YouTube, I Have a Seer. You can visit my website, ihaveaseercreations.com. I do commission pieces for spell work. If you think you feel you might need something, contact me. We can get it done. Peace, love, and blessings. I'm out.